So I'm joined today by Miss Kookie, our very own ISW here at St. David Elementary. How are you today, Miss Kookie?
Good.
I'm very happy to have you. And there's so much I want to know and so much I want to talk to you about. So I'm going to start with my first question.
Okay.
Would you like to share a little bit about yourself and the path that led you to become an ISW?
My name is Kookie Miigwech Dijnikaz. Originally from Biketjawan, Walpool, and Chiging. My dad is from Manitoulin, and my mom is from down by Walpool, by Sarnia. And we kind of grew our whole life back and forth. With my dad worked at Inco, so it was like seasonal. He got laid off, so we went down there. Kind of have one foot over here and one foot over there.
Wow.
So this is like Sudbury's my home.
With becoming an ISW, when did you decide that's what I want to do?
I think as I got older and finding out who I am and being proud of who I am. Growing up, I didn't really have those teachings and not as accessible as to now. And now that I got older and having children and grandchildren, I started learning the language, went back to school to speak the language and putting it into my everyday with smudging and being grateful to Mother Earth and picking our medicines. And I'm still learning. I do not know everything. And I teach what I know. And I was always told by elders and family that you only teach what you know.
I have to go off script for a second, and I just have to say, we here at St. David are very grateful for everything that you do for our students. You bring in a lot of external people that you know, and you do so much with our kids. Today, Miss Kookie actually built hand drums with all of our students and some of our staff. And so that was super cool. She does drumming. She has a fellow come in and do drumming with the students. You had Spirit North come in and do snowshoeing, skiing. I mean, these are just a few of the many things that you're doing with our students. And it's really cool because not only are they having fun, you're teaching them the Indigenous culture and you're sharing your teachings and you're doing these amazing things.
It's something that I love to do. I find very much passion in also seeing the smiles, the laughter that it brings the students, and especially the staff, and also educating them why we do it, how we do it, and also our first exchanges, always offering tobacco before we talk business with bringing in special guests and everything. And it's also with our left hand because it's the one that's closest to our heart, always left. And having these relationships within the community, doing all these other things, and also sharing people in the community all the good work that we do here and the land that we're on, the forest and the amazing staff, and no one's ever said no.
No,
We would love to come, whatever you need me for, making scone dogs, ribbon skirts, whatever it may be, please.
I am going to jump to that question, actually. This business that you have, the ribbon skirt business, I really want to hear more about that.
I would have to say all the sewing, all the ribbon skirts all came from when I was a little girl. Back then, I don't know how long ago, we won't go there, but there used to be 4-H. There was Girl Guides. I was in Brownies.
Okay.
And we learned how to sew jogging outfits, aprons and everything like that. So I kind of learned how to do that. Then as I got older, being on the power trails, dancing jingle and living and breathe our culture.
Yeah.
And I always seen all these beautiful skirts out there. And I was like, hey, I like that. And started taking pictures of people's skirts and everything and started creating it at home. Then as time went, I started getting better teaching myself how to sew ribbon and using the Cricut, adding to it, and YouTubing how to make these things. And it led me to today where I actually have my own business and selling these ribbon skirts and teaching people how to make them, but also gifting back too.
Yeah.
And I do gift a lot of skirts, ribbon shirts along my path. Not everybody can afford these items, and also maybe they're on a certain path and this will maybe help them get where they're going, find comfort, everything that may be without sharing.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and it's not all about making money.
Yeah. Well, you've made ribbon skirts for our students, and it's fantastic. Like it's really is quite an art. Like I wouldn't even know where to start. I mean, you had an early start with was it brownies?
Yes.
And so they showed you, and you were like, wow, this is and sewing. I think in general is just something a lot of people just don't really have that skill.
It gives me teachings along the way, like picking out this material, the ribbons to go with it. I just don't go by random material. I carefully pick this material. I didn't even dream of the material. I
Really?
have all these visions and I'll put it together. And it also teaches me sometimes too to stop sewing, to push it away if things are going wrong, my needle's breaking, all these things, then maybe it's time to push it away, then come back to it later.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so it gives me teachings.
How does your Anishinaabe identity guide or influence the work that you do?
Just like all the teachings, like I'm pretty authentic with it, like having these teachings, been through it, doing it, practicing it like every day, instead of not saying I know it, but I actually live and breathe it. I do it every day in a good way. It's coming from, everything's all in a good way, I would say.
And you speak the Indigenous language. You speak 3 languages, correct?
Ojibwe, Delaware, and Potawatomi.
So at home, are you speaking all 3, or do you stick to one language mainly?
I try to mostly do Ojibwe because my grandchildren and stuff like that, and we were always told to use our language, speak when they're just like late babies. Like it's easier for the children to pick it up, soak it in more when they're just babies, as rather than teaching you now. We're gonna have it harder. They said our little kids are our future generation, and to teach them, speak the language much as you can.
Yeah, and it's something I've always really valued about the Indigenous culture is the respect for the elders.
And even like with our guest here today, the children are very aware how to act, how to behave, and be respectful. When they come in, we wait for them at the door. They're smudging. How can we carry anything? You need coffee. We have lunch with them. Sit down. They know all this, and to offer the tobacco to him and share why we're giving it to you. It's coming from them. I don't tell them what to say. They just know what to do.
I remember the fellow you brought in, George.
Oh, George Kookie.
His talk with our students, I think, resonated with everybody. Like, not just the kids. Like, I remember him saying, speak like the person you want to listen to. And that really stuck with me. And the other thing he said, he talked about when you meet someone, you meet 2 people, the person you can see and the person you don't see. And these are a lot of things that like I found myself really reflecting on. And I think it was so good for our students to hear his teachings. Okay, so next question. What strengths do you see in the students and the families you work with?
I do work with a lot of children, different families, backgrounds, but it's also seeing how much they're excited to learn whatever is brought to the table with hands-on language, dancing, and everything. And just seeing the feedback with the families. They're so, like, when we greet them in the morning, and they're just so humble, like, like, thank you for, spending the time with my child, whatever it may be. They're just really grateful to know that their children are in good hands here. And they always express it like, this was the best choice to have my children here. They're in good hands, and makes them feel better to get on with their day.
Is there a message you would like to share with listeners? Any viewers or students that could potentially be watching?
I think this is like always been my dream to come to the school. Like, I'm here now, and who knows what the future is going to behold. It's only going to get better, with so much diversity here, and also learning what other people, their cultures, their backgrounds, their foods, like everything, how we're all one big family. Nobody's different from each other, and it just makes me drive even harder, wanting to learn, wanting to be here, get me up in the morning to bring, this child's smile, to support this person, And
it's a really beautiful thing to see that, because like you said, our school has a lot of diversity, and I think it's so special that we can all learn from that. We can learn from each other's cultures. We can learn about each other's past, and that can help bring us to a brighter future is if we can all kind of learn from one another and know that at the end of the day, we're not different.
No,
we're all here together.
We're all equal.
Yeah.
You know, we're a very unique school. It's special.
Again, I'm going to go off script. I love the name Miss Cookie, but I know your name is Sandra, right?
Yeah.
So can you tell me about the name Cookie?
Oh, and when I was born, my aunt, she's my godmother. She lives in Espanola, Arlene. When I was born, she thought it was her job, her role to name me when I was born. So she's like, she looked at me, she spent time with me, and she said her name is going to be Cookie. And to this day, nobody knows me by Sandra. It's always Cookie. And I said, that's kind of like my non-native name, but I go by Cookie, and the language is Kwejgonsak, how you say my name. And it's all you hear when you walk down the hallway. Miss Cookie, Miss Cookie.
Oh, the kids, they love it. Like, they miss Cookie. Like, you and I are on duty together in the morning.
Yeah.
And I see how the kids light up when they see you. Because they know that, like, you're always going to greet them. You're always going to welcome them. And not only that, they know that you are going to do fun things with them. They feel safe. They love coming to the Indigenous Studies room. Like, they love it. So I just think it's really an awesome thing.
It's just like our nishbal. They want.
It's another thing you do with these kids. Nishbal.
Well, because we grew up, we didn't have electronics. We didn't have any of those. So it was either you be outside on your own play, or you're going to stay in and do chores. So I took off outside. We knew what to do, when to come home when the sun starts coming down. We knew to get home, but we never got hurt. We went on all kinds of adventures. So we played this nishbal like every day under the streetlights in front of the church. We lived and breathed this game. So I think like 2 years ago, I was at Bishop and I was like, hey, can we, I started introducing the game. Like, can we have a tournament? Can we, sell tacos, do all this stuff? And that's how it started. So we started having trophies, and it started growing, and adding the language into it. After school program with Mr. Trudeau and Wemigons, and it started growing and growing. And the kids were like, just want it.
Well, I love, like, especially when you come to Miss Wood's class, like, those days where you bring in, like, the big games, those are so fun. Like, the kids love it.
It's nice to put all the animals down and share about their habitat and the sounds they make. And same with the games that we played with, Jenga, adding the language onto
the blocks.
And I like to add pictures because I'm visual, and there are probably a lot of other people that are visual. And to see the language with the pictures and everything like that, and just incorporate it with all these games.
And I mean, anytime you can make learning fun, right, that's going to get the kids' interest. Like, who doesn't love Jenga?
Yeah.
So just before we end here, do you have any plans for the future things that you're going to be doing with our students? Right now you're doing drumming, building drums. Do you have anything else on the...
I have lots of
cool ideas.
I just like, our next project is sewing in Mrs. Toffley's room. We're going to be sewing in there and making ribbon skirts and ribbon shirts for the boys, and getting those teachings and, learning these machines, how to thread, how you coordinate your ribbon, cutting, gluing, the whole thing. But the thing is, we're working at our own pace. We're not going to be like, you have to get this done by the end of the month. Just gradually, take your time with it.
So you're actually going to be doing sewing with the kids?
Yes, we got the sewing machines.
Oh,
we got material.
That's incredible.
We got the whole thing, ironing boards, irons, kits. We took it right up. Like,
that's a skill I don't have. I don't possess the ability to sew. And there's so many times in my life I wish I had that skill.
So I also do on my lunch or my breaks, I do a lot of repairing snow pantses.
Oh, I know.
So I'm sitting there on my breaks. I'm repairing snow pantses.
Yeah, that's so cool. I mean, like, I can think of, like, my own self. I have stuff at home. I need help. Might have to come talk to you. But anyways.
Yeah, bring them in.
And, we're happy to have you. And you're doing so much for our school community and for the staff, too. So just keep being awesome, because we're grateful.
And you're doing an amazing job with getting this out into the community.
We got a lot to say. We're a good staff, you know,
Yeah.
like we're not just people who show up to work, do the job, and go home. Like, the more we share about ourselves, the more people can look at, you know, who's spending time with their kids all day long.
Yeah.
And saying, you know what, I'm glad my kid is spending time with this person, or they're learning from this person, because I think a lot of us, we do a great job. And we care.
Yeah, everyone comes with unique gifts, and that's what makes us even stronger. Mm-hmm. We're all one big family.
One big family.
Through the good and bad times.
Yeah.
We're there. We got each other, and that's what makes us more unique.
It is like a family, eh?
Yeah, we are.
Chimigwedge.
Yeah, chimigwedge.
Chimigwedge.